that everything was in place, the France family dynasty was ready for the final nail in the coffin. Nascar sent the 2025 charter agreement with the sense of sign this by midnight or lose your entire investment. And just like that, every team signed except for two, Jordan's and Front Row Motorsports. Here's why. They first noticed an immediate threat in the agreement renewal: the expanded non-compete clause. The contract banned teams from participating in any automobile or truck racing series not sanctioned by NASCAR. This made it absolutely impossible for owners to seek alternative venues, competition, or profit, which they desperately needed after spending millions of dollars. Also, this meant that they were stuck in creating revenue for NASCAR and nobody else. The ultimatum was so extreme that team owners who did sign a new contract, the majority of the sport, later described the decision as being coerced and made under duress. One owner went on record saying NASCAR put a gun to our head, and another privately called the dynamic a communist regime. The fact that these owners refused to let their names be revealed speaks volume about the level of intimidation and control that the France dynasty allegedly wielded. Jordan's legal team spotted the most disturbing clause in the entire 100-page document. A clause so extreme it revealed the true motive behind the entire monopsony scheme. NASCAR knew their entire system, controlling the tracks, the cars, and the profit, was fundamentally illegal under American antitrust law, specifically the Sherman Act. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 was designed to promote fair competition by outlawing anti-competitive practices, specifically contracts, conspiracies, and combinations that restrain trade, and prohibiting monopolization or attempts to monopolize commerce. I mean, it sounds exactly what they're trying to do. Their corporate strategy was preempted legal defense. Build a massive business based on illegal monopolistic practices, and then use a single clause to shield that business from prosecution. Why did Jim France force this midnight deadline knowing it would spark a lawsuit? What drove Michael Jordan to say no was the mandatory release clause. The other team signed it, but Michael Jordan's legal team refused. By signing this one clause, every team owner would have been legally accepting that they released their right to assert future antitrust claims. This was it. This was their plan all along. It reveals that NASCAR's entire strategy was to make their multi-billion-dollar monopoly untouchable by law and forever sealed by the monopsony. They were attempting to force the teams to sign a document that would forever legalize their corporate theft. Jordan's refusal explains why this lawsuit is the only thing standing between the France family and becoming a dictatorship. But again, why did they put that in knowing it would spark a lawsuit? Because the legal benefits of getting this one clause signed far outweighed the cost and the risk of any lawsuit. So after years of planning, spending millions in acquisitions, and a midnight ultimatum, NASCAR's entire corporate scheme came down to this single moment. Would Jordan sign away his rights? Well, this confrontation didn't begin in court. It started in the negotiating room. As the clock was ticking down on the expiring team charters at the end of 2024, after negotiations collapsed, NASCAR delivered a final take-it-or-leave-it deal late in September 6, 2024, threatening to throw away the charter system entirely unless teams signed a contract that included a ridiculous arrangement: a release of their rights to ever sue NASCAR. On October 2, 2024, standing on business, Jordan and his team filed their lawsuit, an antitrust complaint that was, in Jordan's words, the only way to free up the market for competition.
The point is that the sport itself needs to continue to change for the better, for the fans as well as for the teams.
At the center of the issue, money, media rights, and how much teams should receive under NASCAR's new charter system.
Eventually, the battle moved on to the courtroom, and on December 11, 2025, the France family's empire ended abruptly on the 9th day of this testimony.
So we are delighted to tell the world of NASCAR and its fans that this case has been settled.
Two sides reached a settlement over months of tension over team operations and financial transparency.
Let's just say it didn't go well for the NASCAR team. There were weeks of evidence that went terribly for them.
And I think both parties got to that point, and we realized that we could have an opportunity to settle this. and we dove in and we actually did it.
including an economist who testified that they owed $364.7 million in damages and also an internal scandal over derogatory emails being exposed. And then it happened. Outside the federal courthouse, the settlement was announced. All teams were granted the permanent charters they had fought for, the exact thing NASCAR previously refused to consider. The litigation forced NASCAR to seek permanent injunction to dismantle their exclusionary practices and expose them to trebled monetary damages under the Sherman Act. As a direct result of Jordan's suit, Jordan's racing team and Front Row Motorsports will also receive their 6 combined charters back for the season of 2026, which could be worth about $210 million or more. As U.S. District Judge Kenneth Bell told the jury, sometimes parties in a trial have to see how the evidence unfolds to come to the wisdom of a settlement. This is the story of how Michael Jordan, standing on business, won the biggest corporate fight in motorsports history and secured the permanent freedom and financial future of an entire sport. As Michael Jordan said outside the courthouse, "I've said this from day one. The only way this sport is going to grow is we have to find some synergy between the two entities."